In this video we will see the following. 1. DDA straight line algorithm for computer graphics. 2. DDA line drawing algorithm flowchart. 3. Sample code of DDA algorithm in C++. 4. DDA line drawing algorithm in C++ console. DDA, Digital Differential Analyzer. DDA, Digital Differential Analyzer algorithm, is used to determine the drawn pixels of the line on the screen. To represent a straight line on the screen, use pixels to create a straight line. The pixels must have coordinates, x, y, that are integers, so choosing the wrong pixel will cause problems creating a crooked line when looking at the generated line. DDA algorithm, Digital Differential Analyzer, is one of the algorithms that support pixel selection to draw lines on the screen. Algorithm description, basic theory. The DDA algorithm, Digital Differential Analyzer, can be summarized through the steps in an overview. 1. Suppose the coordinates of 2 points, A, x, A, y, A, B, x, B, y, B, do not coincide, provided that x, A, y, A, x, B, y, B, are all integers. 2. Calculate the number of pixels of the line drawn on the screen. 1. Compare the absolute values of d, x, equals, x, b minus x, a, d, y, equals, y, b minus y, a, and take the maximum absolute value because the more intersections are defined, the clearer and smoother the line will be. 1, 2, let steps be the number of extra pixels drawn, then steps equals max absolute dx, absolute die, for example, with a, 1, 4, and b, 7, then dx equals 6, dy equals 3, absolute dy, less than absolute dx, so steps equals 6. The blue tiles represent the intersections. After determining the number of intersections, steps will determine the added value for x and y starting from coordinates a, x, a, y, a, to the coordinates of point b, x, b, y, b. These values will be calculated as follows. X, increment equals dx divided by steps, y, increment equals dy, divided by steps. The value is a real number. For example, with a, 1, 4, and b, 7, then dx equals 6, dy equals 3, steps equals 6, x, increment equals 1, y, increment equals 0.5. 4. After having all the necessary parameters including a, x, a, y, a, b, x, b, y, b, steps, x, increment, y, increment, the final step is to find the coordinates to be plotted. Just add x, a, y, a, with x, increment, y, increment, according to the formula x, I plus 1 equals x, I plus x, increment, y, I plus 1 equals y, I plus y, increment. Then round the result to integers to get the next coordinates. For example, for a, 3, 2, and b, 6, dx equals 3, dy equals 4, steps equals 4, x, increment equals 0.75, y, increment equals 1. The following values are added, respectively, after adding x, increment, y, increment. 3, 2, 3.75, 3.0, 4.5, 4.0, 5.25, 5.0, 6.0, 6.0. Results after rounding. 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. DDA line drawing algorithm flowchart. read, x, a, y, a, x b, y, b, dx equals xb minus x, a, d, y equals b minus y, a. If absolute dx greater than absolute dy, then, steps equals dx. Else, steps equals dy, x, increment equals dx divided by steps, y, increment equals dy, divided by steps. Float x equals x, a, and y equals y, a. While, steps greater than or equal to 0 put pixel, round x, round y, color. X plus equals x, increment, y plus equals y, increment, steps minus minus. Sample code of DDA algorithm in C++. Void, draw, line, D, D, A, integer, x, A, integer, y, A, integer, x b, integer, y, b. Integer dx equals xb minus x, a. Integer d, y equals b minus y, a. Integer color equals 4. Float steps equals max absolute dx, absolute d, y. Float x, increment equals dx divided by steps. Float y, increment equals d, y divided by steps. Float x equals x, a. Float y equals y, a. While steps greater than or equal to 0, put pixel round x, round y, color. X plus equals x, increment. Y plus equals y, increment. Steps minus minus. 4. DDA, line drawing algorithm in C++ console. We need a math library to use the round function. So, include C, math. To draw anything, on console commands, we need a library. Windows.h. So, include Windows.h. Handle, h, d, l equals get, standard, handle, std, output, handle. Coordinates, screen, void, put pixel, integer x, integer y, integer color. Screen.x equals x, screen.y equals y. Set, console, cursor, position, hdl, screen, set, console, text, attribute, hdl, color, cout. You can use any character you want. For example star. Now we will see an example. Draw, line, DDA, 5, 5, 20, 20. Or 15 here. You can use sleep function here, for example, 200, to draw pixels, characters, slowly. And change color here, to any other color, for example, green.